Hey all my JavaScript friends, this is the Virtuoid, aka Mike Smith, and this is video number 1 on our base deck class. We are finally going to create the deck that will hold all the cards that we've been creating on all those other videos that we've been working on here for the past, month or so. If you like this video, please click on the like button below, subscribe to this channel, or leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Okie dokie, now let's get started. So what exactly is a deck? Well, a deck is a collection of cards. And what's the best way to represent a collection inside of JavaScript? Well, there's many ways, but the best way I'm going to use, and the way we're going to use for the deck, is the array. So simply, we're going to have a property that's going to be an array of cards. Now, what are these cards? It's going to be our base card class, which means that any card class, the base card class, and any other class that you may happen to extend from the card class can be used with this deck. Can you use something else besides the base card class? Well, sure you could, but then you'll have to go into the code and make that change. So that is the one requirement that I have for the deck, is that we do have a dependency upon the base card class. So that's the one property we're going to have. What's another property? Well, we're going to need some way to identify the deck. So we'll create an ID. I create an ID for everything, just to make life easier for me in the future. What other properties is on a deck? Well, not much. That's pretty much just about it. There's really not much there. We got the card collection, we got the ID, maybe, the color of the face of the color of the back of the deck, so that can be passed to the cards, but that's a graphics thing that we're not going to worry about here in the base deck class. So that's pretty much all the properties. So what are the things we're going to want the deck to do? Well, I need a way to be able to get all the cards that match a certain suit, or all the cards that match a certain rank, all the cards that match a certain value, all the cards that happen to match a certain card, which there will only be one card, but basically it's find out whether that card exists or not within the deck. I'm going to need to be able to find or get an array of cards based upon a comparison function. In our base class for the card, we have this compare method that the application can put in there saying, hey, I need you to compare cards based upon this comparison. So we need to be able to get cards based upon that comparison. So that's pretty much all of our gets. What else we want to do? Well, we need to add cards to a deck. We need to remove cards from a deck, and we need to remove it a bunch of different ways. We can remove a card off the top of the deck, which is like dealing a card. We can remove a card anywhere within the deck itself. If you're doing a magic trick, they spread the cards out and they say, yeah, pick a card, any card, and you pick a card out. Well, that's pretty much a random card, so we need a way to get a random card based upon an index number out of the deck. So let's add, remove. What are some of the other things? Well, two big things is on a deck, we deal a card. And what do we deal? We always deal off the top of the deck. So we remove a card off the top of the deck and we send it somewhere. Where are we going to send it? We're going to send it to another deck. Because one of the things you want to think about here with decks is that every single hand that you have, if we're playing cards, every single hand that you have is basically a deck. Because think about it. We got 4 hands in poker, and you have a deck that's the actual deck itself, but each player is holding a deck too. Maybe a deck of only 5 cards or so, but it's still a deck of cards. So our deal method, or our dealing basically is in reality just a transfer of one card or a card from one deck to another deck. And finally, we got to do what every single deck has to do, and that's shuffle the deck. So that's basically it. Those are our properties. Those are our actions, which basically means our methods. We're going to be doing TDD development. That's kind of that's test-driven development. We're going to do TDD on this particular deck, which means we're going to do test-driven development. So we're going to write a bunch of tests on this deck to be able to simulate everything that we want to do with this deck, and we're going to run those tests. As long as those tests are red, we haven't finished our class. As soon as all those tests turn green, we have finished and they pass, we have finished the deck class. So the first thing we're going to do, which is video number 2, is the test-driven development series of it, and then video number 3 is going to be the actual class creation itself. So that's pretty much it. That's the introduction. So the next thing we're going to do is we'll run on to the TDD. If you happen to like this video, make sure you click on the like button, subscribe, or leave a comment below. I'll love to hear from you. And as always, thank you so much for watching. This is the Virtuoid, aka Mike Smith, and we'll see you later.